Hello, you were listening to Control Alt Delete Radio. I'm DJ Ben.
It's not as hard as it looks. The board is pretty intimidating for most people when they start. I know I was really scared that I would never understand it. You know, there's some basic switches for turning the mic on, there's turning your music on. You gotta mix those, blend everything in with each other. You know, you gotta turn the transmitter on, you gotta make sure the power in the studio is correct because you don't want the antenna to freeze. So it took me like a year to really get where you start talking while the song is ending, and then you stop the song, and you have to do that like seamlessly. So there's a lot of like focus that goes into that. I used to have a co-host, so it was a little easier to do everything seamlessly. So there's a lot of technical things that you need to check on. It's important to make sure the station's in tip-top shape, which goes along with the broadcast going smoothly itself.
I'm Christina Gaddy. Ben is the kind of person who gets his mindset on something and just does it 150% all the time. So having him as a co-host just made our show so much better. It still is one of the best shows at WMUC. I think the personality in Control Delete is a lot richer than most of the other shows. We would have a dynamic to the show. We'd have a flow to the show. We had segments that were planned every week. We put a lot of time into it, a lot of effort into it, because we love it. We love playing music. We loved hanging out together. So it was always a good 2 hours of my week. I'd still consider him one of my best friends, and it's all because of Control Delete. I think that Ben is going to go much farther than Control Delete will. He is definitely someone who you look at, you talk to, and you just know is going to go far in his life, in his career, in anything that he does. I mean, he's a great guy. He throws himself into everything he does, and he's going to go places.
You know, it was great being back in the studio. I hadn't been here since, 2011, basically. I did a semester abroad, so it was nice being back at WMUC doing Control Alt Delete in America. You know, I have cycling and co-hosts. I have, people coming in the studio, a lot of diversity that I didn't normally have on Control Alt Delete. Well, the SGA issue was the time in which I felt most connected to WMUC. I was at the forefront of every meeting. I was at, every time WMUC had a voice, I was there. I was making graphics, I was getting the word out, I was credited in press. WMUC fought, I'm glad that I was a part of that fight.
My name is Laura Pavlo. Ben is my boyfriend. Ben's opened my eyes to a lot of new artists and the genre in general. This year, I spoke more and I was more involved in conversation and commenting music and stuff like that. So it was a different experience. I felt like I was more involved.
My interests in life are directly related to the show. What I talk about on the show, how I shape the show, is what I'm into at the time. So that's my goal for Control Alt Delete in the future. Make it entertaining and have fun doing it. WMUC is just a place where you can do whatever your heart desires, and Control Alt Delete has always been that way, and I've always tried to make it whatever I could possibly dream of, and I just put whatever I could find out there into the show, and this semester is just another chapter in the Control Alt Delete saga.